And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Refresh Point. My name is Ben, and as always, I'm joined by my constant co-host, Steve. Steve, how's it going?
Doing good. The slow but inevitable march towards Japan continues.
Yes,
and
indeed.
we are practicing some Weiss Schwarz.
Great times. We've just returned from scrubbing out of BCS Pasadena. Woo!
Yeah. Turns out you can't be great every time, it turns out. Yeah.
And we're ready to keep on prepping Worlds. Me with preparing my vacation plans, content plans. I'm getting some like lav mics for fun, getting some more travel ready dynamic mics, whatnot. You know, good old Shores. I think there's a different model I'm thinking about. Anyways, I'm having a great time. Steve, on the other hand, needs to actually try to win the tournament.
True.
So he's gonna have to deal with that, and I'm probably gonna have to help him.
We're trying to be the very best.
Albuda, let's hit the English version. The latest set with Spinning the Wheel has come in hot, and we have some ambitious decks to discuss right after you shuffle your decks, tap or cut, and we'll get right into the Refresh Point with some breaking news. Woo! We got Albuda. Woo! BCS Pasadena. Woo! BCS Vola. All right, so there wasn't really that much major big news, right? I think there was a strategy presentation. But it had a Tales of announcement for JP.
Yeah, we got
congratulations for that.
Yeah, we got the JP announcement. We got a few new sets announced for JP.
They made Neo standard so that you can play Rose with regular Weiss cards. I think
we
that's
thought
like
that standard was going to be the least played format. Nah. We got a brand new least played format. It's called Some of the Cards.
No, it's all of the cards minus Blau, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It's Rose and regular Weiss Schwarz. They can be played together now. No one's going to. If you do, great. I hope you have a very fun time.
I mean, it kind of makes sense in the sense of like, otherwise, what are the Rose players going to play again?
Right? Yeah, they kind of gotta. Otherwise,
yeah.
There's like all of, I think, 2 Rose sets.
Something like that. Anyways, that happened. And so we're actually gonna hop off breaking news into some travel tales. We went to BCS Pasadena. It was great to see everybody.
True.
I really appreciate being able to see and play, you know, all sorts of brand new people who listen to the podcast, and people who are just friends of the podcast and whatnot.
Yeah, it turns out
I was really salty, so honestly I'm really sorry for like half of my opponents where I would just like finally lose in this kind of way, and I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, kind of the upside of just flopping completely at a tournament is you get a few hours to be the worst person imaginable, whereby your friends will question whether they ever should have talked to you in the first place. But
yeah.
Then inevitably you get over it, and then you go eat tacos and you're happy again.
Yeah. Great tacos we happen to have in Pasadena. There was a truck. I didn't even actually have a taco. I think I had tortas.
Yeah, you did. The first ever.
It was the first ever. I don't know how. I've been in Texas my whole life, never had a torta. Turns out really good. Good.
So that's what made us feel better after feeling pretty horrible. I didn't start well. Knew it was going to be a difficult day. Barely managed a winning record at one point, and then just went full in the tank. It was rough.
Yeah.
But humongous event, by the way. Almost 300 players.
Almost?
298 according to Weiss Tea Time, and Weiss Tea Time is never wrong.
What I will say is that
there were more than 300 registered.
Yes.
But slightly less than 300 showed up, which is kind of on brand for card game players.
Yeah.
Registering, very easy. Just do it.
Yeah. But almost hit the 300 mark. Darn near hit the cap. Real big event.
The biggest Weiss event ever in the U.S. for English.
That could be.
Yeah,
could be.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Top 32, which is
massive,
literal nightmare.
Yep.
Like, cannot imagine playing through. But
Also, can't imagine being Avis right now. Shoutouts to Weiss Tea Time. She somehow got almost all 32 of them.
it's crazy. There's
I think
so
she's
many.
only missing 4 that she doesn't know anything about them, and then 3 more with no list. And
Yeah.
then out minus that 7, we have the full top 32.
Yeah, which is psycho. Really, one of the most important resources we have as a competitive community. Cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
Guys, I think Overlord might be still good.
What?
So it turns out, as long as you continue to draw bars on a regular basis, then nothing changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just draw bars on a regular basis.
One of the biggest high rollers of the entire season, winning the top 32 event with restricted Overlord. It cannot be understated the amounts of like base level luck required to execute the game plan this regularly across the entire tournament.
Yeah,
It's just crazy, and it is literally, I think, 1-for-1 like Nene's list from when he won Tampa.
except for it only has 2 of the climax swappers.
Sure. Okay.
But other than any, he opted into some other choices. But
It's like the same concept.
yeah, the idea is there. We're trying to plus a lot more at 0 so that we can take the game at a slower pace. We don't need to clock ourselves as much, and then we can kind of just go off. Here's the thing. I don't know how. I don't know how.
Uh-huh.
This is
See, that's why you and I both scrubbed out of this event, Steve. We don't understand why this worked. And that's why we scrubbed out. We're just
I watched a
Too
round
bad.
of this deck played during the end of Swiss,
Right.
whereby he drew, didn't get the bar, clock, didn't get the bar, brainstorm, didn't get the bar, check 3, didn't get the bar, did the walk of shame to the backstage with his 3-2 with all the markers, pushed up his 1-1 along with 2 other pieces of shit, ran those in, then triple blocked, then drew a bar.
great times.
I was like,
It
if
just
you're
works.
if you're the protagonist that day, if you're high rolling that day, nothing beats this deck in a high roll. Nothing in the whole of Weiss Schwarz. This is the most high roll deck imaginable, and when it starts to snowball, there is no stopping it. You just get absolutely run aground by the snowball. So congrats, man. This is well built, well played. There's no arguing that if you manage somehow to get through 12 best of ones, you're doing something right.
Yeah. As well, shoutouts to Tressa's Collectibles. Both Mike and Randall both got to top 32.
Yep.
Mike got there with a dual laner's Licorice Recoil list, playing into the Stock Soul finisher. He has a deck profile out on it. Yeah, I got to play some rounds into it at the very end of the event, like while they were running Top Cut into like one of the other Cali people playing it.
Yeah.
It's incredibly fun, incredibly funny.
Yeah,
like you have the 2 dads in the back.
It's extremely unorthodox. There's probably, I don't think I've ever seen half the cards in this deck.
It's real cool, dude. It's real cool. And then you just send the whole game on 6 blind stock in the mid game.
Yep.
And then if you didn't blind stock too many climaxes, turns out you got like double Birdcage and Musashi, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a metric shit ton of damage from the Takina finisher.
Yeah,
so
dude.
like you're just going to kill them. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I am gonna say shoutouts to that one guy that I played. I think Simu was running a friendly into one of the other Cali players, and he left so that he had to judge again at some point. And then I just slid in. It was Miku, and I was like, okay, we'll just try this. We'll try to finish out this game. And what happens is we get some choice blocks. The Licorice Recoil player, he gets stock, he gets the dual lane setup, whatever, good stuff. I field triple Miku. He has 3 cards left in the deck. I don't know if he's holding or not. First Miku swings and a whiff. It wasn't in there, it was in his hand. So 3 clean, 2 clean, but he was at 3-2. 3 sticks from the vanilla
It's cooked.
to 3-6. Second Miku swings, 5 clean. Block on 1. Third Miku swings. 5 clean. Trigger. Stick the 4.
Where are your climaxes? They're like 10. They're like 10 cards with 5 climaxes right in the middle of the deck.
Yeah.
The roller coaster of emotion when an Icy Tail whiffs into a vanilla just sticking. It's like literally like if they do an analysis on Weiss Schwarz players' health over the course of a long like study.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, this will shorten your life.
Yeah. Icy tailing.
Icy tailing it will be like the #1 cause of all heart disease in Weiss Schwarz players.
Spin the wheel.
And like, can you imagine the rug pull on the other end where you're just like, there's definitely it's gonna hit, right? I milled a bunch clean, then it doesn't, so then you get rug pulled, but then you immediately like while you're slipping onto your face, your foot just KOs them with the fucking vanilla. It's actually crazy.
But shout outs to that. That was real funny. That was a. Oh, and also I bought the 2 review movie and the 2 real life boxes that Hobby Shop Ichiban had. Cracked a Claudine SP.
Yep.
Cracked the level 1 choice climax combo. Slid that choice climax right into the deck. Edited the deck list right then and there. Why not?
I was
Real
very
funny.
happy to see that because I actually cracked the Claudine while we were frantically cracking pre-tournament, and I was like, I actually knew what it did. Here's the thing, I know Review Starlight now.
It's a good card.
I'm close enough to it. It's like when you sleep with a pillow over a book. Where like you gain the information by osmosis.
I don't know that. I don't know if that's how that works. But...
I mean, that's how we hoped it worked in college. But in any case, I'm too close in proximity to not know some of this stuff. Plus, I think I've played that card in a couple decks. Plus, I'm pretty sure I've been killed by that card 6 times. So it's an off finisher. It's good.
Yeah.
Great card. Great character.
Great times. And it's also really funny that because Randall got top 3 with a Crony at home Muron deck.
Yeah.
The other 3 participants guaranteed had their invites because Randall is commentating. So that's funny.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
That means we get to let another Shauna player into Worlds, which is fantastic. I love that for us. So we got Shauna in top 4.
Yeah.
This looks like a Shauna deck of all time, using pretty well the exact same strategies that most Shauna decks use. However, we have Torch. For some reason, we're running Torch. So
yeah, why not?
Sure, that's fine. No, that's fine. As long as we got Melon Pen, I don't care. Run Torch. Make you happy. Run Torch.
Oh, and one more shout out to Carter, gatekeeping people's dreams again. Didn't get to top 3 this time. He ran Empty Door Dual Laners for Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, yeah, TRV.
Yeah. And got there with Empty Door pants because he was able to scrounge up enough of the anniversary doors to run the list. It has 2 souls in it because the door isn't on deck lock.
Yeah, Avis made a note of that on Weiss Tea Time, but yeah, it's just
Pachin. It's not even dual laners. It's just Pachin, Empty Door. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pachin, Empty Door with the standard finishing package.
Yeah, but I think 4 of the defensive event and 4 of the 2-6 event is pretty.
4 of the defensive event is Psycho mode, but
I mean, it just works. No,
I get it. Yeah, I mean, you'll always have someone on board to play it.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
The upside.
That's the thing. Like, you'll always have the board, so why not, right?
That guy is humongous. You can't reverse him.
Yeah, and he has 4 Empty Door.
Yeah.
Why not?
Not to gloss over it, or to go back really quickly, there's an important adaptation in this Shauna deck I feel like I want to point out.
Yeah, sure.
So, he's running 5-choice 3-door. So, this isn't for more choices. This is to add another combo. So, this combo is Coco from Hololive, whereby you, on reverse, can pay 1 and ditch 1 and pay it up to 5 times to do Icy Tail 3, and if a climax is there, burn 1. You get X costs +1. So, if you think that is a better way to win. You can just do that and kill them, maybe.
Big if true.
You only need one of them, so it's okay to run one of them.
I wonder how many times it got played.
I would love to know
tournament.
that feels like a burning question.
Yeah. Great question. Great times. Yeah. And it's also kind of funny that the last tournament of the season is actually just a repeat of the Tampa tournament.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's Overlord over there, and that's Nino over there. So
yeah, it's cooked. It's cooked. There's no way. If you're a Nino player, you're just like, oh, fuck's sake, man. Like, what do I do?
Why
It is
did you
worth
do
pointing
this?
out. I think we have every version of the slime deck in top 3. I think pretty much every
top
version.
8, you mean?
Huh?
Or no, in any top 3. Okay,
yeah. Every one. If we took all the seasons, and if we looked at every deck and every regional for the season, I'm 99% sure nearly every flavor of this deck has made top 3. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Blank
slime.
Pants Muron, Standby Muron, Mila Muron,
Door
and now,
Muron.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Rimuru.
And
Different Rimuru
now
Muron.
introducing Door Rimuru Muron, 8 Pants Muron. Anything will work with Muron. Anything. Just pick the character that you like best. Anything will work with Muron. Just that's the takeaway. That is the takeaway.
I do like the it's a three rules version of what is it? This Corona at Home list.
Yeah.
I do like that. First friend is a cool event, but also for this list, having the deck speed is probably better.
You're the camera event, right?
Yeah, with the daily life gone up in flames.
And then your girl, the pitch to get a level 2.
No,
Oh, is that not it?
no, it's shuffle back in for a Corona combo.
Oh.
Yeah.
You shuffle in 2 and search it?
You shuffle in 2, and then this card doesn't lose soul by side attacking.
Oh.
And then you play your Corona combo.
Yeah.
And then you search the 2 cards that you just shuffled back in.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty much.
Well, yep.
Yeah. You could also do that for Muron. Not for nothing.
Yeah, of course.
Just
Look,
like-
why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Hey, is that my... There isn't even a defensive counter in this list,
No,
by the
fuck
way.
it. He's running anti-level and he's running memory.
Memory, yeah.
2 anti-level, by the way. That's the these old dangerous Weiss Schwarz people, dude. Like, they'll get you.
Yeah.
They'll get you.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
play disrespectfully, they'll get you.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure.
you saw one, thought you were safe? Nah.
It's like, hey, do I need the Xion next turn? It's a one of, so it's like, if you want it, then shuffle that right back in.
This is also a slime list of all time in the sense that there's one of like 25 cards.
Yep. It's only running 1/1 of the back row, like the search and hexproof back row, because as it turns out, most things still don't really answer triple 10-5 Muron. Oh.
He has
crazy.
he's got
So you
one
just run the
Muron
salvage brainstorm.
Yeah, of course.
You can do the salvage brainstorm and potions, and then resource into the infinity, and then win the whole game.
Great.
Great times.
I love this set. Let's keep it meta for another 2 years. Rest of your top 8 looking pretty regular. Spy 8 Pants, again, like one of those decks that is evil to face whenever it's going off and you don't have any way to deal with it.
Aforementioned Miku.
Yeah.
Ruby. Choice to standby.
Yep. Great.
Somebody got period that day. I'm almost sure of it. And the requisite SDS representation. It's there. Great times.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty standard Ruby deck. I think that most people are on the choice train for School Dance into the extremely varied top end that comes with Ruby, including basically every level 3 profile that can exist. We have early play heal, shuffle back, burn 1, clock kick, and a million other level 3s. So that's good. Of course, STS Hendrickson, why not? Been good all season. I think of these, like, Miku is probably the most surprising. I definitely didn't think it was as good enough to make these kinds of performances. But yeah, it's great.
Great times. Yeah. Well, what were some other highlights from your trip to Pasadena, Steve? While we're in our travel tales.
So we did get to experience some really great Southern California traffic. As soon as we got the rental, literally the second we get out of the rental area, it's immediately into a 45-minute gridlock. Like, that's part of just being in Southern California. And then when we tried to go play some locals at a store, we were like, oh, it's only 15 minutes out, no big deal. We look at the maps because we're not getting baited twice. And then it's now all of a sudden 40 minutes because we have to go take a back road going 35 miles an hour because the highway is like 5 accidents deep at this point and there's no way. So yeah, I love that part of California where I literally cannot drive. So it's not ideal.
Yeah, perhaps not.
We had great food.
Good food.
We went and got ramen and that was really good, and then we went and got tacos and those were really good, and yeah.
Great times.
And then yeah, the Dark Side Games. Shout out Dark Side Games. Very cool store. And all the people that played with us like prior to the event, everybody seemed very cool. Like there was a guy there labbing his E-ski deck for his very first like regional. Pasadena was gonna be his first regional. He's brand new to the game. So yeah, that was cool to see.
Great times all around.
Yeah.
It's good to see everybody. We love to see all the homies out. And if you're going to be in Tokyo, yeah, let us know. We'll be hanging out. Not sure exactly how free we'll be, but you know, it is what it is. I think shoutouts to Kix Machina, who's going to be there with the second place player out of the Philippines. He's going to be there, so we'll see if we can go say hello to you, say hello to just about anybody else, and it'll be a great time. We'll see what happens at Worlds. Coming out of Travel Tales, let's do probably the quickest stop in the Spike Corner ever, so that we can talk about BCS Wrap-Up. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced because I don't know Dutch. But in the Netherlands, we had one more tournament on the 15th. 78 players. It's kind of funny that it's literally one less than Tampa for whatever reason. HoloLive wins. Chloe Maureen. As it turns out, VTubers still the base level, can win, enough tools, good enough kind of baseline deck that there is in this game.
So what's really crazy or surprising about Chloe Maureen is one of those type of decks where it makes the game hard artificially in two ways. One, it pushes you into triggers. So because of the top stock nature of how Chloe behaves, it pushes you into climax triggers, which can make your deck state very ugly. The other thing is it has kind of weak deck speed. It's on the weaker end of the deck speed train. So it needs to be a good day is kind of the moral of the story. And it looks like it was. So we don't really have anything super surprising here. They decided to go with the Subaru Climax Swapper, which has a Force Mill 3 attached to it, which is interesting. There's nothing that could make me play anything other than Ina, but maybe they needed it for yellow
deck speed.
I guess I don't know.
Deck speed.
3 cards isn't deck speed, but.
It's something.
Yeah, we got the JC here, which I super like. It's kind of hard to reverse at 0, so it makes a really good first turn slam into move it to the backstage, combo off, and then bounce back, and then look for recombo potential. I like that whole play pattern. We're starting to see Botan in literally every deck now, where we're trying to create an unbalanced deck state for a variety of reasons. And then he decided to go with the Suisse early play. We've been seeing the Iroha early play for a pretty good while now, so it's kind of a throwback. But yeah, this is a pretty normal list. Not a lot of cooking here, just standard solid gameplay, and probably not triggering too many doors. That's usually what happens when this deck loses. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, congrats.
Great times.
Good finish.
3 standby Ruby in second, Ishka and 8-Pants Spy, and then in the bottom half is kind of like the rest of like random meta stuff that isn't slime. So there's Nino, Overlord, Dual Laners, Shauna. And Dual Laners has kind of like come back in like a dark horse force recently, it feels like, where like
I think whenever something wins in an unexpected way, people kind of like they get their memory jogged, like, oh yeah, that deck exists and is reasonable.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, nothing really changed to make it bad, but maybe it wasn't favored in the meta for a period of time there because like the game wasn't as field based as it's become. It's starting to get pretty heavy field based.
And it's also more there are some less slimes and less cards or less decks with early stock swaps.
Yeah.
In meta.
I think it's important to acknowledge the effect of having a bunch of playable stuff on the meta, because when there's a perception that there isn't that many competitive good decks, then people are going to gravitate towards a very small amount of decks and they're just going to spam them. So it's not surprising that we're starting to see some increased deck diversity, if for no other reason than a bunch of other stuff is reasonable now. All these Quints being added to the format increases the reasonability of Quints. There were always reasonable Hololive decks, a bunch of them. Like Chorus is fairly reasonable. I've seen quite a bit of Macross, at least in Swiss play. That's reasonable.
Ayakashi.
Yep, we're adding P3
Pretty
soon.
reasonable.
That will be reasonable.
Yep.
So like the amount of decks that can win a tournament is increasing significantly over time, and that's just going to lead to less bandwagoning and greater deck diversity, which means you can make the call to just hope that you don't play against it, and it doesn't sound unreasonable anymore. It's like hoping to not play against Overlord has been a thing that many decks have been doing for a while now. But now it's like you can also kind of hope to not play against Slime and maybe you'll be able to dodge it. There weren't that many Slimes in top 32 at Pasadena. Yeah. So the bigger the event, the greater the deck diversity is kind of the general rule.
For sure. And so that's it. Congrats to the Zvolo winner and the other 2 invitees, qualifiers, I should say. How about that? And with that, let's do a quick break. Let's do some ambitious deck building.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
A little bit.
So one thing, I do need to apologize. I dropped the ball. I was tasked with playtesting the CSM 8-bar list, and I have not yet. My bad. Partially because I just kind of like got caught up with a lot of stuff, and I was like, review thing that like grabs my attention, and I was like, let's look at that. I will playtest it. But I feel like, again, because we did kind of already discuss it, my notes are kind of similar to when Steve originally kind of playtested it a bit last year as well. Where it's kind of like, it's kind of like playing into the bars and you're trying to heal off of it with the Future Devilist Aki assist, and then it's just more complicated because you only have 2 Akis and you don't have like quite as free plussing.
Yeah, so the other thing that happens in these 8-bar lists is that you're gonna have to like sculpt that Bonder like late in the game, because the first couple easy revenges kind of happen really quickly and swiftly, because you'll just draw them, or you'll just get them, and the last couple are usually where the problems start to happen.
Yeah, I'll see how bad that feels. And then in terms of the other ambitious deck that we have commissioned, Steve got to play some HBR. Heaven Burns Red. How was clocking yourself, chum?
Yeah, so as you might expect, some things work really, really well when here's the takeaway for this. I played probably 10 to 15 games with this deck, and the games that I won, let me tell you how exactly they went.
All right.
Whenever I won, it was because I blocked in the mid game. That's it. That's all it takes. You have to block in the mid game. That level 1 to level 2 transition through deck 1, you cannot just eat a full level. You can't. If you do, the game's cooked, because you're gonna have to damage yourself twice in the process of executing your finisher, and when you do that, your opponent is going to just kill you on the cross if you don't win. And they're going to kill you like really easily. They're just going to be like, beep, bop, boop, you're dead, because you're at 3-2 minimum. So that part of it, I cannot stress enough. If you do not think you can win, do not try. Like, heal down and wait, because you can't just go. Like, that's not a thing you can do. The game needs to be in a state where you can actually win before you try to win. And so you need to kind of play the game in a more safe manner. You need to take things slowly. You need to keep a good eye on the deck state, like understand where your win cons are. Like, you gotta block a little bit, because you're gonna be damaging yourself probably 3 to 5 times a game. This is like Overlord, where like if you block down at 2 and then you get to do the ninja combo, it actually feels insane. But in terms of finishing quality, this finisher is pretty good. You can't triple it. I don't. You would need an absolute obscene amount of cards to do it. So maybe it's possible. I think you need a 9-card hand, but no, you need a 10-card hand. Not really possible. But
What do you mean? What do you mean you're not just gonna hit triple brainstorm? Smile.
Yeah. Well, you only need to hit 1 brainstorm, right? I have a full hand.
Oh, sure.
But in any case, yeah, you'd need also like at that point you need like, I don't know, like 14 stock. Yeah, it's not gonna work. So the combo is burn 1, burn 2, which you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
You get
Love
to
that.
For some reason, the game is diabolical. For some reason, Bushiroad is diabolical for this. For some reason, the Remu Starlight one just picks it for you. Burn 1, burn 2.
Yeah.
For some reason, this will let you choose.
Oh.
And so you can...
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. You can put yourself in the tank trying to figure out whether burn 1 or burn 2 should happen first. Meanwhile, never realizing that, like, it never mattered. You couldn't have known. That's the end of that story. There are very few states in which burn 1 or burn 2 being reversed has any, like, tangible outcome that you could ascertain. Now, if you see 2 clean damage cards on top, I mean, burn 2. Like, it's very straightforward. But if you see a bunch of cards, you get to decide 1 or 2. Up to you. So that part's diabolical. I hate that part. I wish it would just say burn 1, burn 2, and remove me from the equation.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So that's not great.
Yeah.
But that finisher does. I mean, burn 1, burn 2 times 2 will kill your opponent. It will absolutely kill them. So as long as you like the game stays pretty normal, you should have a decent shot at winning most games. We have lots of great profiles in this deck. I ended up really enjoying the combination that I chose, because the 2/1 ninja girl, she is like sneakily very powerful and adds a lot of cards to your hand. She's basically 9/5 all the time, and hypothetically there's a world where you can early play her if for some reason you take, like, I don't know, an entire level at 0, if that's ever happened to you. If it hasn't, I would like to know how long you've been playing Weiss Schwarz. If it's less than a month, I assume. But, like, you get to early play if you have 2 or fewer climaxes in the weightier, which is kind of cool.
Right.
But the combo's good either way. So we get lots and lots. We get bonus stock, we get bonus hand, we get bonus everything. So that's great. Lots of good payouts. And then all of the accelerate synergy, which is kind of nice. The only other problematic thing I'll say is your 1-0, which is your prime accelerate advantage engine in the mid game or early game. It's big in the sense that it's like 7/5, but you do have to you check 4 and add 1. So, and you need reverse. It doesn't work if it's empty. So if it's empty, that's kind of okay. You put some zeros down, you just hit them and like wait for better outcomes. But if the deck isn't in a state where you want to mill 4, or all the cards that you want are gone, or you want to try and like preserve a compressed deck state, that can be kind of annoying to have to mill 4. Both the plussing combos are mill 4 here, so and then we have 4 of the on death check 4, so we should have absolutely diabolical deck speed, assuming we have enough life to pay for it all. But yeah, I enjoyed this build. I thought it was reasonable. I love 8-door. There was at no point did I ever struggle with hand size. I felt like I had infinity cards in hand all the time. If anything, the having to pay enough stock for like all these little extra pieces can kind of dig into your end game. The other thing is the game goes really fast, so if you don't block at all, then your deck kind of falls flat.
Yep.
But that's kind of the nature of playing just like, accelerate decks.
Pretty much.
We definitely have all the profiles we need to succeed, though. We have we have stock shuffle, we have and we have small damage packets, and then we have a very reasonable build. So
Great
this build
stuff.
will be out and attached to wherever you're listening to this from, so that you too can try some 8-door Heaven Burns Red.
Shoutouts to you, Bromyos. Shoutouts to you.
Bromyos has given us some of our best ambitious deck builds. Absolutely shout out.
It's a great time. And for some of our own ambitions, well, after I scrubbed out of Pasadena, I was like, okay, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Right? Let's play something a little different. And so I thought to myself, what is another stock intensive finishing thing that Review has on offer? Because the choice shell that I've basically ended up with, that's like 3 giraffes, 3 pay 2 refreshes, like level 1 choice combo, etc., like double trigger, whatever, you can get to whatever 9, 10 stock pretty consistently. Like, it's very, very reasonable, right? And so it's like, all right, if I'm not gonna spend it on this choice finisher, well, what do I spend this on?
Yeah.
Well, let's think. In the set 1 in red, there's like this great performance thing where it, like, you need both Karen and Hikari. The Karen is pay 2, ditch 1, burn 3 on attack. The Hikari sacrifices the Karen in middle to then take her position in the middle stage, and then burns 1, and then you swing again, and then it has great performance, and it's like something.
Sure.
Yeah, anyways, didn't want to do that. That's a lot of deck slots.
If you had money counter, you might have something.
Yeah, you have a neck soul counter, but it's
that's kind of good.
It's only once, and it's only with that finisher in particular. You have to use it on that Hikari.
Yeah, the great right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's what you want to use.
Yeah, that is what you want to use it.
Is it -1?
Yeah, I believe it's -1. Yeah.
Just can't be -2 for the boys. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, I was like, maybe not. So, thinking about other like potential finishers, because the thing about this like shell that I've constructed for myself is it takes a lot of slots. You're just like all the utilities, the 6 cards that say go to stock on opponent climax play.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've got a whole bunch of like the pieces that are just like, they're not utility, because that's like not an appropriate way to phrase it.
Yeah,
it's more like there are these stock chargers that are kind of hanging off of the deck, where it's like, yeah, we got to run these so that we have enough money to pay for everything.
Yeah. And also it lets you cheat and also refresh your deck. So like bonus on top.
It's just better.
But yeah.
It's better than the events for sure.
Yeah, honestly. And so what then ends up happening is just like, I want a finisher without as many slots. So we're like, okay, well, set 1, not that much else going on because I don't want to play wind.
I forgot about the wind finisher.
I don't want to play wind. It's not something I'm really interested
finisher,
in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to play wind. You also have to discard a Karuko or Futaba as part of the cost.
Yeah.
And my 1 combo doesn't say either of those things.
No, it's mana.
Yeah. Also, most of my utilities don't say either of those things.
No, that's true.
Yeah, so maybe not that. All right. Movie set. Well, we could go for the door finisher of the movie set, but hear me out. That's like 20 deck slots, man. Can't really get there.
No.
Kind of hard.
Is the free fresher Hikari as a child? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm getting there.
I'm
becoming part of it now.
He's getting there. I love how he's absorbing it in slowly.
There was a Review player that I played against, not to divert too, just very
No,
quickly.
you're good, yeah.
I played against a Review player or he had the Review mat, right?
Yeah.
That I forgot existed. And, but he was playing Miku, so I gave him the business for it.
You mean Akira?
No.
Like Icy Tail?
No, he was playing Miku.
There is... What do you mean, Miku?
Miku.
What?
The quintuplet.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Wait. David?
I don't know. Maybe.
He's playing Miku? Okay, yeah. I think you fought David. He's the guy that normally runs Choice Pants.
Yeah.
And he said that he's like, I should have played Review today.
Yeah,
At the end of the tournament.
I gave him a little business for it. I was like, what? No, these Review people, they're supposed to be committed. What? Anyway.
Yeah. And so then finally I landed on the wheel. Because there's been a lot, Icy Tail's been on the mind recently. And I saw somebody while I was plummeting to the bottom tables. I saw somebody sitting next to me playing 8 Pants Review with Akira Yukishiro, which is on reverse, pay 2, double icy. Heal on play, love healing. Stock intensive, no hand required, just go. And I'm like, for an off-season deck, let's gamble, baby. Here are the slot machines going now.
Yeah, Icy Tail is one of those mechanics that I have a complex relationship with.
Yeah.
But I will say that Icy Tail works really well when your opponent's good at Weiss Schwarz.
Oh yeah.
If they're bad at Weiss Schwarz, feels like the worst combo ever. But if you're good at Weiss Schwarz, that mechanic's diabolical. Because you'll set up the best deck state imaginable and then just randomly lose to like getting wheeled, and you're like,
spin the wheel, dude.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel. I love spinning the wheel. And the tricky thing about the Akira finisher is that it doesn't need any hand. Karuko didn't need that much hand, but you still wanted like 4 or 5 cards in your hand because she replaced herself. Hear me out. Akira just doesn't need any.
Yeah, I was about to say, doesn't Karuko check 3 and add 1?
Yeah,
I mean, that
she
helps.
does. It does help. But turns out, if I run myself to 4 hand, and the 4 hand is 3 Akiras and a Pants, and I have the 10 stock I anticipate having, and you have 3 board, congratulations. You're getting Icy Tailed.
Yeah, it's similar to the Lloyd finisher, where
Yeah.
we just gotta get there.
We just gotta get there. We just gotta get the stock and get the Lloyds on the board.
Yeah, just get the money. That's
Just
it.
get the stock, get the money. And I have to say, it has been a great time. I love and hate spinning the wheel, but what's been great is that I've started to like accept that the end game doesn't matter to me anymore, because I'm not trying to win a tournament. I'm just spinning the wheel. Like, the only time I'm sad now is that if I or they lose before I hit level 3.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the point.
Then you can't wheel.
Then I can't wheel.
Yeah.
I want to spin the wheel. I want to mill the bottom 24 cards of your deck and see what happens.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, milling 8 cards for Icy Tail effects is not unreasonable.
No. What the most important thing Aki taught us is there is a number at which it won't matter.
Yeah. True.
Like,
True.
the other thing about this is, and this is the part that people kind of leave out about Icy Tail. If you Icy Tail enough cards, it's almost guaranteed to cause a refresh penalty.
Oh yeah.
And so your opponent generally has 1 more damage on them than they think they have. They just don't know it yet. And so,
and if they're a good player and they have a small deck and they're at the end of the deck before the small deck,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it could be 2.
That's 2 refresh points right there.
But that's the thing, is that degenerate gambling is just gonna be, degenerate gambling is gonna be at Worlds. There's
true.
gonna be an
senpai.
Yeah, there's gonna be a non-trivial amount of degenerate gambling.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works now. And so we're entering into the meta where Japan was talking about it. We're headed right towards it, where degenerate gambling is just going to be on the table for a while.
Oh yeah. And so I just wanted to join the crowd with
Yeah.
my own funny degenerate gambling. So shout outs to that other Akira player at Pasadena who was in the tubes with me, unfortunately. I heard that he milled 8 clean versus somebody into immediate block on 1
That's
with only 2 finishers.
Yeah, so sometimes you roll snake eyes, and how that works is you lose everything. Degenerate gambling has downsides. We can't pretend like it has only upsides.
It does.
Yeah.
And so this is a public PSA because I can't go to the Dallas regional. I'll be going to 3 other regionals at least. I think it's basically gonna be Philly, Chicago, and I forget where the last one. Atlanta. There we go. Duluth.
Or we shouldn't call it Atlanta.
We shouldn't call it Atlanta. It's not in Atlanta. It's Duluth. I'm gonna go to Duluth.
You're gonna fly to the Atlanta airport. That's about the extent of it.
Yeah. How about? Yeah. That's true.
I will
That's
be
true.
at all those events as well.
Awesome times, but you will have a team, and it's not with me on it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have firm teams yet.
Oh, okay. Great times, because I need teams for these 3 regionals. And so if you're a homie and you're willing to go gambling with me at one of these regionals, hit me up. I want to bring the triple Icy Tail team to a regional where we all put on like card shark outfits and like we have custom sleeves that are just card backs, like bicycle card back, almost like design looking things.
Sure.
And we just all have it.
Nice.
And we're just all card sharks and we're all gambling. Hit me up.
Yeah,
Hit me up.
I think my Chicago team is gonna be the most contested, but I think I'm open for the other 2.
All right, nice.
I
Sick.
have a Dallas team already, but yeah, I'm open to playing on some different teams. So if you want a former world champion on your team, I mean,
Yeah, Steve, you need to go gambling with me.
could be former and current,
Yeah.
could be.
We'll
So yeah, we'll see. I definitely want to gamble at least once with you.
All right, great. We're gonna have the
I'm gonna.
the bicycle almost like card sleeve bags.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn to riffle shuffle just for this.
Yeah. I need to
for
find my
fun.
least valuable deck.
Yeah, exactly. My least valuable Icy Tail deck. Throw that together. And
Do you even
just-
have the low rarity of all those
I
cards?
have the low rarity of all the
Okay.
review cards, dude. Come on.
All right, so
All right.
I guess I could just play Aki.
Yeah. Double Aki. Yeah. Screw it. Why
No,
not?
Triple Aki.
What?
It's only you only get yeah.
You only get 2 Akis.
Yeah, you only get DQ'd if they discover it.
No, there's no way. There's simply no way. This guy's inting me live on air. There's simply no way. Anyway, let's get on to the last segment of the day. Worlds Watch 2024-25. Let's talk about deck selection. Steve, how are we choosing the deck finally actually? And have you even done it yet?
I will announce during the next Refresh Point podcast, which should be the last one before Worlds, what I'm going to play at Worlds. So I'm not hiding from anybody. I'm not afraid of any of you cowards. But we're finishing the last bit of playtest to lock in the exact thing we're going to play. What I would say has been true about the last 3 Worlds, all the Worlds that the Refresh Point has existed, the previous 2 and then this one, is there will be people who do very well with decks that have seen no action in the regional because they know those decks are good. So that's what happened with Escanor. That's what happened last year. That's what's going to happen again this year, is that there's some untested sets, in the sense that they're untested by any regional play, that people are going to absolutely take because either they believe in them based on their their practice experience, or even more possible, they've seen them work in other venues and so they know they're good. So for example, people are going to play Albuda at Worlds. That's guaranteed. Bunny Girl Senpai. That's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. It's a lead pipe lock. This is one of the most beloved sets in Weiss. it was restricted in Japanese, which is usually people like the more inexperienced you are at Weiss, that's usually the thing that perks up your antennae about a deck being broken. But also has a very reasonable game plan, is extremely powerful, does a whole bunch of good stuff. Also, it's also degenerate gambling, so I mean, it is what it is. But also, the build that Japan used for Nikkei will not be the build that English players use for Nikkei, probably. It is likely that they will use other builds. It is likely they will use 8 pants. It is likely they will use bar standby. Like, those builds are explosive, dangerous, and coin flippy. And there's something about the English Weiss community that, boy howdy, do they love all of those things together. So I'm expecting to see those decks, even though they're untested by regional play and untested by any big tournament play. That's gonna happen. The other thing is that if your deck is virtually unchanged from the deck you won your regional with, how could you go with a different deck? Like, what's your motivation there? What's your thought process there? There's no way I would do that. Like, no way. The only reason I did it last year was because the deck I played at regionals got banned. So if they had left Alice alone, I would have absolutely sent Alice right down the lane at Worlds. So yeah, if you won with post-restrict Overlord, you gotta be feeling as confident as you can feel. They did the thing and you didn't die. Like, you got shot, but it was glancing. And same with Slime, where it's like, if you won before or after, you still have to feel pretty good. So I think that there will be, yeah, all the people that won will probably resend those decks unless they feel a compelling reason not to. But there's not that many sets being added to the game in between now and then. So
there's gonna be some people with the compelling reason of, I like Bunny Girl, I like Nikkei,
yeah,
and even a few people that are like, I like P3.
Yeah. Someone will be playing P3. Someone will be playing P3.
Surely.
Guaranteed.
Right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Again, another very beloved series.
Probably.
But, and like a non-trivial, reasonable game plan, like a very good deck, can be very annoying to face if you're the wrong type of player. Like, it has bad matchups, clearly, but, like, I mean, if you have powerful defensive counterplay, your opponent has to respect that and deal with it. And, like, there's no good way to play around the rest counter that P3, like, puts in your face. Because they're going to have level 3s early and often, and is likely by the time you get to the point that you can play this stupid thing, there's going to be 3 of them. And so there won't be any side attacking, there won't be any dancing, it'll just be like, walk into this rest counter or deal no damage. Like, that's going to be your choice. So that sucks. Nobody likes that. But that's what they bring to the table. That's part of what makes that set good. So yeah, I'm expecting all the decks that won. I'm expecting at least those, and then there'll be handfuls of the decks that we haven't seen yet, and then the rest of it will fill in with both decks that are in the meta, but also decks that people just want to represent at Worlds. Like, I played against Guilty Gear Strive last year. Is that the deck I would have taken to Worlds? No. But it had just come out, and it was brand new, and it was shiny, and it was cool. And, like, people didn't know what it could do. And so there is something to be said about, like, dark horses are never fun to face in tournament play. It's certainly not fun at Worlds. And at Worlds, we're talking about, like, top 8, bro. Like,
6 rounds of Swiss to top 8, bro. That's gonna be the format.
Yeah, so you don't need to win as many games as you've needed to win most of the English regionals. So decks that are high variance or higher variance or just high ceiling in general probably will probably have better play at Worlds than they did at regionals, because you just don't have to win that much. Like, you need to win 5 rounds of the Swiss, and then you got to win 3 other rounds.
Easy as you like.
I mean, 8 rounds is not trivial, but, like, you can absolutely have your day. Some guy had his day with 12 rounds of Overlord. So,
yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely doable. So, that's kind of how I would approach it. Again, I didn't play any regionals this year that I did well in, and I didn't have to, thank God. But because this has not been a good regional season. But yeah, the returning champion has the luxury of watching the game from the perspective of just being able to choose what they think is the best available. I don't have any strong feelings about, like, any of the decks that exist in the meta because I didn't win with anything this year. So, like, there is an emotional aspect to knowing that you've had success with something in the past and getting to reuse it. So I think that can't be understated. Like,
Absolutely.
feeling confident.
Yeah. That's it for Worlds Watch 24-25. We'll have one more installation right before we go to Worlds. And then if you keep an eye on the YouTube channel, I'll probably go live at some point on the day of Worlds. Either we're commiserating about sucking or we're really, really, really happy. TBD. This guy needs to see how much he wakes up that day. And we'll have some fun content.
Yeah.
I'm also probably going to be recording. It was mentioned in a previous comment. There is going to be some kind of mixed event of international and JP players organized by Box on the Monday after Worlds. There's no streaming going to be happening. It's going to be a JP Neo Standard tournament. I'm going to record my games because, of course, I'm going to play Review Starlight, because if I can't win while flexing the stupid Starlight that I have, then what's even the point?
I'm with you.
And so we're going to play that, see how it goes. I would like to try to win. I need to try to tune the 0 game because level 1 clean cut is pretty good right now in the decks I see. I don't know what the JP zeros look like. I don't know if a 4K lives more often than not. If not, probably just cut that thing. Like,
I kind of dig the clean cut's great.
Clean cut's a great card. The 4K, very questionable. Don't know how much that actually gets to live. Because the thing is, like, in the random English meta right now, most things don't really touch a 4K.
I don't think it's easy to reverse a 4K in any meta, honestly.
Yeah. But if there's, like, a lot of bombs floating around, a lot of power pumps on zeros, right? That sort of thing, like, floating around. I just don't know the card pool.
Yeah, I mean, it's also humongous, and there's going to be, like, no
Yeah.
way to read it.
Yeah.
It's a for fun tournament, so like.
Nah. I want to win.
No, I'm talking about like. It's we'll call it lower stakes. And
People are going for it.
They're gonna go for it, but what I mean is that
it's not literally Worlds, yeah, but like people are tryharding this tournament. It's a pretty
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying
know?
they're not trying. I'm saying that people are gonna favor the decks that they favor.
Oh,
and
sure.
It'll be difficult. There's not a read on it, is what I'm saying.
No, I think as far as I can tell, this is going to be like good JP players showing up playing like what they think is best.
Right.
And then 25 of us from out of country.
Right. But I guess what I more meant is that there's a wideness to their meta.
Yeah, it's true. That's
that
true.
like we don't have.
That is
where
true.
There's like twice as many sets that are reasonable. Or maybe even twice as many sets that are good.
That's fair enough. Yeah, true. So we'll see. It would be fun. And one more random thing to round out the podcast because I just found it funny. If you are aware of the Review Starlight JP card pool, you would understand that there was a portrait booster released. It's the Adel Delight portrait booster where they have the anime like kind of like game girl art and the real life actress art on like basically all of the cards. They all have 3 different versions and whatever. There's even so like, and in that booster it has support, quote unquote, for that double icy tail that we just discussed. Because originally it was meant to be played with the set 2 book combo, which is if you have the finisher in level, be a 6k consistent, then on reverse, draw 2, ditch 1.
Sure.
Which is fine. And then, though, there's a new combo that combos with the same book. Mill 3 for each blue character milled, salvage, level or lower.
What?
Yeah. And
That's
you know what
the weirdest profile of all time.
Yeah, they're clean cut, check top. If it's a blue character, gain 1/5.
I guess.
Early play heal. If you have 4 or more blue characters, you can early play it. Where it's just like all this random like need a blue character stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then it's still
sounds
on
a
book.
lot better in that context.
It's still on book, yeah. But also, if you want to play like the heal event from set 2, yeah, there's still no way to discard, by the way. Like if we trigger a pants, we're still gonna hold that L. And there is double trigger, but it's on a 2/1.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. And then you're still playing book at that point because you want to use the other combo. You can have like 6 like 1 combo pieces, right? And also the heal event is trait locked to like that school.
Great.
Where it's like 5 or more Sigfeld heal from clock to hand, and then this event goes to memory. But you need 5 Sigfeld. Great times. And because you're spending all of this stock on early play healing and event healing, you now have a pay 2 on reverse finisher that you need to look at. And you're like, well, how do I do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm probably gonna go try to source all the cards while I'm there just for fun.
Sure.
But also, man, it's kind of depressing that like the choice thing that I made with the movie set is just better on average at generating 10 stock and getting 3 accurates in our hand to go spin the wheel with than their own printed portrait booster that was specifically printed to support that school.
Yeah, that's kind of a frustration point for a number of sets where there's like,
and if you play that, it's like you're locked out of all of the other colors.
Yeah, no,
like,
the thing is you have to play like 30 blue cards in a deck like that, otherwise most of your shit doesn't work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, when you're 3 sets deep, asking me to ignore 3 of the colors does not feel like a strategy I can do unless it's Omega busted, and this doesn't sound it.
Yeah.
But yeah, also it would be cool to have the refresh counter.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have that though. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
When I go over there, my refresh counter turns on. It's a great time.
It does.
And also, the only good card out of the portrait booster, which is an Akira, where she's like, pick a guy. Backups, events, we don't do that here.
Oh, nice. Sick.
On attack, discard 2, burn 1.
That's great.
On play, draw.
Draw 1?
Yeah.
Like 2K and draw?
I don't know.
Okay. That's usually that profile.
Probably, yeah.
Alright, well, there's worse things than making somebody no backups.
Yeah, exactly. And in any case, that's our funnies, and that's our ongoing prep. But we'll see you one more time before we head off to Tokyo. And for now, that's our show for today. Tune in next time after your next deck out. Don't you forget to take the refresh point.